Trizzy the rapper, he come with the clappers.
What is goody, guys? I'm never saying that again. But what's up, guys? This is the last video on our POGG series of this week. Not like forever, you know what I'm saying? Just like this week. On breaking down on why you're losing. So, first topic that we're going to be talking about is thinking about how well someone knows your character and if their options are specific to how they think of you as a player. You know, something that Brian players have to think about a lot is about how much someone knows their character, right? So some very common ways people defend against his character is he does quarter circle forward 2, quarter circle back 3 in the down forward 2, right? Sidestepping right after this is a extremely common option. I don't know one player who just wouldn't do this option just out the gate. Just sidestep. Pretty much everybody defends very similarly against Brian like this. Other situations like let's see. Oh, another situation like if Brian does 3+4, people will dash up after that because they think it's their turn. But in actuality, that jab's gonna stop you, you know. People dash up and deal with this character in a really similar way. Because these are it's not like these options are really bad, it's just that so many people do the same thing against this character that it's just not going to work anymore. It's not like it's a bad option, it's a very good option. These are extremely good options, but too many people do these options against this character. They defend in the same way, and that's how they get to that point where now Brian's jabbing after 3+4. There's not really much you can do about that besides just know he's gonna jab, you know. Sometimes he might not do jab at all. He could just backdash, just block, you know. But that's a very specific option to this character that people choose to do a lot, you know. And you have to start thinking about these things to take advantage of, or to start thinking about how to play your match against somebody, or just generally against a lot of different people, you know. Or somebody could know exactly how you play and they could do a one jab after quarter circle back 3. They just know you're not going to do a move faster than 14 frames, you know. You're just not going to do a move faster than 14 frames. Because what Brian's doing right now is hatchet kick in the down forward 1. Very common, very good option. But people have ways to defend against that. And once they get the read on you, they'll start doing this. You as a player, they'll start paying attention to these things and they'll start trying these options, you know. But they're checking for you to do 1-2-1 because this is also another option that Brian players do, or just one jab in general. You know, just a one jab in general. These are common options that Brian players do. And there's no possible way that someone would just out the gate just do one jabs after getting hit by like hatchet kick or back 1, you know. But if they see that you're doing slower moves like 3-4 forward, his 16 frame counter launcher, I can't say forward +3 F3. Why does that sound so weird? I don't know why. Or just like or just, you know, 1+2. You're trying to track somebody from stepping. This is also a very slow option that also gets beat by jabs. But generally speaking, people will figure out that you're using slower moves first and then start using options that beat you specifically based on how you're playing, you know. Has nothing to do with the character at this point. It's about how you're playing. Because the whole time, you could just do a one jab. A one jab after hatchet kick every single time. Every single time you do it, you could do that. And it's not a bad option. But people are checking for what you're doing after that. And that's what you really need to pay attention to. And to make sure that you don't take extra damage from falling into this stuff, you know. Another thing is, are you playing with the timer on your mind? Are you actually like playing with the timer? So you could just go in every time you feel like it. This could be your game plan. Just go in whenever you feel like it. Just use launchers whenever you feel like it. Not really think about how slow the move that you're using is and like the risk that you're gonna take. But if you really want to win, then things like the clock are very important. It's just as important as your health bar if you want to make it that way. It can be just as important as you trying to pay attention to your own health bar, you know. You could just play as if you have the life lead even when you're low on life, you know. You could just do that. You could play like you're low on health and you always have to go in, you know, despite you being full health. But just playing based on your health bar and playing based on the timer is very important, because now that the time is winding down and I have a life lead on you, now I'm not gonna go for bigger moves like back one or 4-3 or 3+4. What I'm gonna go for is whiff punishing you and dashing up to you and jabbing instead. Jabbing, using faster moves, making sure that you're not going to be able to get big damage on me, and also make sure that you can't start up offense on me, you know. Now it's more about how can I keep my life lead while also still playing the game. I don't want to give away that it's going to be easy for you to get in on me, and if you show an opportunity, I will take it and I will kill you for it. But I want my health and I want to time you out, you know. This is something that you should be thinking about. As well as it's a bait. It's a bait for your opponent as well. They're paying attention to the timer. So now, once the time is winding down and they don't have enough health, now you force them into a playstyle that you want. You force them into running in on you. The entire time they played safe. They played back. They played back out here the entire time. But as soon as they notice the timer, they're starting to go in, you know. And then that's when they fall into that trap. They fall into that trap where you're going to start using keep out tools and making them play in a way that they're not really comfortable with. But of course, if you want to go for big moves and big whoops. This is what happens when you don't jab, by the way. If I jab there, he actually wouldn't have counter hit me. That's something that happens in game too. If I actually did a jab right there, I wouldn't have gotten a counter hit. The last thing that we're going to talk about is, were you thinking about what you shouldn't be doing against the character as soon as the game starts? As soon as the game starts, do you know what you should not be doing against the character? Because every single character, you need to keep in mind what you should not be doing. Like if you're against a Brian player, you don't want to get counter hit. So generally you wanna be making his moves with, and you don't want to be just like pressing buttons, like keep challenging him all day. Use slow buttons instead. You start using slow buttons and he'll just counter hit you, you know. But if you're against a character like Cosme, for example, you can really test her with any move that you want. You can actually test her because her whiff punishers are not that great, as well as her counter hit tools aren't that great either. But her pokes are really good. So if she wanted to press you out, she could. That's what she's good at, and that's what you need to keep in mind. Okay, when is she going to start up her offense? Oh, she just walked up and jabbed me. You know, now I'm going to start to play patient Look at how she pokes. Watch her. Try to take my turn as wisely as possible. Or it's like, oh, I'm against Brian. He has a 13 frame counter hit launcher that they love to throw out, you know. I'm not gonna be challenging Steve when you're plus. When you're plus, you're not gonna be challenging Steve because he can just throw out back one at any point. You're just gonna be doing high crushing moves. You're gonna try to high crush him. See how he plays for a bit, you know? You're gonna start throwing out high crushing moves a lot more than you would against usual characters because he throws out his back one so much, you know? You're gonna be checking for what he does. You're not really gonna be using really slow moves against that character, you know? And then there's characters like Anna, who, well, actually not Anna. There's characters like Lei who play really well when it comes to playing back. He can go to rest at any point, and pressing buttons is really risky against him. If he knows that you want to chase him, you know, if he knows that you want to chase him, it's really risky to chase him. All right, guys. Well, I think I've told y'all as much information as y'all needed. Hopefully, you know, hopefully it was good. It was easy to keep up with in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next week with another topic.
Glad you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to share and leave a comment. And if you like to see more of Trizzy's content, make sure to stay tuned and hit the subscribe button.